Alright, so we're going to find the equation of a line through the 2 points shown below using the point-slope equation. The point-slope equation is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, where y1 and x1 is an ordered pair, so that's an ordered pair on the line. So that's what that stands for. That's an ordered pair on the line. To do this, we first of all need to find what the slope is. So we're given these 2 points. It's nice and convenient on a graph if they are points located like this. So if I were to create a line through those 2 points, so there's a line going through those 2 points. At this point to that point, the slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, because I rise up 4 and I run 1, 2, 3. So my slope is 4/3 because it's m is rise over run, which is slope, not rise over run. So slope is rise over run. So that is 4/3. Now, if I wouldn't have been given a nice picture and somebody would have just given me these coordinates of my points, -2, 1, 2, 3, -2, -3, so I now have 2 points. I can find the slope by subtracting the y's divided by the difference of the x's. Because notice, right here my y is -3 to 1. So what's the difference between -3 to 1 on my y's? Well, the difference was 4. The difference of my x's, notice I was at -2 and I went to 1, so the difference of my x's was 3. So to do this, we just need to call one of these our x2, like our second point. So I'm going to call this my first point, and this is my second point. So that means this is my x, but it's my second x because it's my second point. This is my second y. This is my first x. This is my first y. So now I just have to replace those points, or these y2, y1 with the y2 and y1 from these points. So y2 is 1. y1 is -3, so 1 minus a -3. x2 is my second point, which is 1, minus my first x, so -2. 1 minus a -3, that turns into a plus, and I get 4. 1 minus a -2 is a +2, so I get 3. So I get 4/3, which is the same as when I counted 4/3, so which it should be the same because the slope of the line that goes through those 2 points shouldn't change. So we now have our slope. So that is the m in our equation. So this is my x1, this is my y1. So I'm going to replace x1 and y1, so I said those backwards, y1 and x1, with these numbers. So this y, when we're using the point-slope equation, this y and this x always stay as y and x. So y minus y1 is y minus a -3 equals m, which is 4/3, x minus x1. So x1 was -2. So these minuses, I'm going to minus a minus, I'm going to change to a plus. So I now have y plus 3. Excuse me. This 4/3 outside means you distribute. So I draw little arrows so I know to multiply to both places. So 4/3 times x is 4/3 x. 4/3 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8. And this is really 2/1. So you go top times top, bottom times bottom on a fraction. So 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3. So I'm almost done, but I need this y alone. So I subtract 3. So I have y equals 4/3 x. So when I subtract 3, that's 3 wholes. So I need to get common denominators because this is 8/3. So this is over 1, this is over 3. So the common denominator, I need to multiply it by 3. So that makes that -9/3. So now 8/3 minus 9/3 is -1/3. So that is the equation of the line. That's in slope-intercept form, and we're good. if you're asked to put it into standard form. Standard form means there are no fractions. So what I do is I find the least common denominator. So the least common denominator between 1 and 3 is 3. And I multiply that to everything, to every piece. So 3 times y, 3 times 4/3 x, and 3 times 1/3. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 4/3, well, 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 3 is 4. In other words, you can just cancel off those 3's. So that makes 4x. 3 times 1/3 again, those 3's cancel and we're left with 1 times 1 divided by 1. So we get -1. Now, to be in standard form, they like the y on the same side as the x, and the x is to be positive. So I subtract the 3y. So 4x minus 3y minus 1 equals 0. So you'll see it this way. Most often you will see them move this 1 away from it. So you get 4x minus 3y equals 1. So this is standard form. And what we had over here was slope-intercept form. So our slope-intercept form is y equals 4/3 x minus 1/3. So that's the equation of the line going through those 2 points using the point-slope equation. And then modeling it in slope-intercept form and standard form. So again, standard form, x and y are on the same side. X is positive without any fractions.